What's up, guys? Back for another Honkai Star video. In today's video we are going to talk about the standard banner. Now, if you didn't notice, if you go to the standard banner, you can go to this additional awards tab, and pretty much once you hit 300 pulls on the banner, you get an extra 5-star. This means that it's not you're guaranteed a 5-star, it's you just get to pick, right? Now, unfortunately, this will probably never get updated, right? We have not had a character in the standard pool yet. I'm assuming if we ever get a, new element, there might be like a standard character, kind of like how, wait. I know. I stopped the video. I'm so sorry. But before we get back into whatever lovely content I have posted, let's talk about the subscribers. So, apparently, a lot of you who watch my videos are not subscribed. And I'm just saying 2% is kind of low. Those are some pretty bad odds. If I was a gambling man, I would not be gambling with those odds. So let's get those odds up, will you? Help your boy out. Let's get that subscribe percent a bit higher than it is. And anyway, if you already have hit that button before this, pat yourself on the back. Anyway, back to the video. Thanks for watching. Genshin has, I think, Tegnari was his name in the standard banner, and then they also got a pyro character, Deha, I believe, is in the standard. Don't quote me on that one, but I know that they added a 5-star Dendro character because that was like their new element. So they could update this, right? Which then this video would kind of not be as relevant. So if they did that and you're watching this and it's old, heads up on that. But as of right now, we have one of each element. We have Himiko for fire, Welt for imaginary, Bronya for wind, Jeopard for ice, Clara for physical, Yanqing for ice again, because we really like ice in this household apparently, and Bailu for electric. Now, issue, right? I'm at 220, right? Now, I know a lot of people might have a little bit less, a little bit more, depending on when you started playing. I haven't played since launch, and I have pretty much put every single pass into this banner except for the one I'm holding on to right now. This includes stuff like doing the Herda weeklies from story, all that stuff, right? I'm at 220. I might have like maybe a multi like out in the ether of like a quest line I haven't done or whatnot, right? But for overall, this is pretty much around the area where most people are at, unless you have spent the Herda currency on passes, or you have got the passes from exchange. I have not done anything with the Herda or exchange passes for the standard banner, right? Which I recommend don't doing that. Only do the store passes for the special banner, which has the limited characters on it. So, like, for example, it'd be Fushuan's banner right now, and don't use the Herda stuff because some of the icons are very good. Like Fushuan can actually use the Herda one, I'm from what I've been seeing, and stuff like I've seen people without certain icons run like the DOT one on Kafka. I've seen people use the Hunt one on their characters, right? They're pretty good. I'd recommend maxing them all out before dabbling into the passes. But regardless of that fact, right, 8 multis, right, is where I'm at. Are the characters worth it? When the game first came out, I know a lot of people went straight to 300. I'm not saying that's the smartest thing. I mean, like, you got your character you wanted, but I feel like it was a waste, especially now, right? Because let's look at the characters. Himiko has always been regarded as one of the worst 5-stars. Now, I'm not saying, by the way, before we get any farther, people are going to jump me for saying Himiko's bad, but we're looking at this like, comparing her to other characters. Himiko isn't the greatest AoE character, right? So comparing her to other 5-stars, right, she's obviously not as good. Welt is still good, but he's nothing insanely crazy, and he could easily just get overshadowed by another character. He also can do some decent amount of damage, so at least he has that going for him. But if you look at like a tier list, especially one from, let's say, like Pridwin, since that's one a lot of people use, Welt is A in single blast AoE. That's what they use, right? Which is single target, and then you get like the 2 additional side enemies, and then AoE, which is full AoE. He's only A, right? Which isn't bad, but considering he's already A, it does not bode well for him, as he's probably not going to get any better. Unless we get like the best character in the game like loves him or whatever, right? we're going to skip Bronya for now for a second. Actually, we're going to skip both of these characters for specific reasons. Clara is considered kind of a worst blade at the moment. She's still pretty decent, but, you know, blade exists. Yanqing, I really like Yanqing when he first came out, but I'm not a huge fan of the character personally. I'm not saying he can't put in work, but with so many enemies, just having other, like, enemies next to him, so you need, like, a blast or an AoE character. I actually really have an issue. I might make a video on this, by the way. Hunt characters are so, like, I'm not saying they're bad, but they're in a bad spot, because Zaylee only functions well because she can hit an enemy and then, like, clean up the side characters and then go right for, like, the main boss, right? If you can't do that, you are just not in a good spot, because all the hard content has either multiple bosses, or it has bosses that summon enemies, or it has a boss that has like some pretty tanky side enemies as well. So if you're a hunt character, you're struggling right now. Yanqing is just not great in the meta right now. He does, like, I have him like somewhat built up. He can do good damage, but having to focus solely on the boss for that is not great. And then you could use him to like kill the side enemies, but you just lose a lot of DPS. It's so much better just to have someone who can AoE, hit the boss, and then just kill off the targets just by attacking. So Yanqing, unfortunately, brother, you're just not that great. You know, Zaylee exists. We're gonna get more hunt characters that are probably better than him, right? So it is what it is. Bailu lost her ranking as second best healer to Lynx, because Lynx just the debuff stuff with like debuff resistance and the ongoing healing from when it's their turn. Like, it's not as OP as invigoration, but it, like, you know, helps with sustain, and being able to cleanse debuff with her ultimate is just so good. If Bailu had a cleanse of some kind, she would probably still be number 2, but I have to give it to Lynx. She's just really good. And Lynx is a 4-star, very easy to pull compared to Bailu. I'm not saying she's guaranteed, right? But, you know, Bailu isn't technically guaranteed either, right? So Bailu's fallen off a little bit, and that's going to leave us with the 2 I missed, which is Bronya and Jeopard, which I think are the 2 safest picks if you're gonna pick this, right? Overall, this video isn't really meant for like who you should pick, but I guess it kind of deviates into that, right? Personally speaking, if you have every single character but like Yanqing or someone, I think you should easily use this to pick up a copy of who you don't have, unless you're like on like E1 Bronya and you really like Bronya. I'd say go for that, right? But I recommend at least owning one of each character, right? Because you never know when they might have a resurgence due to another character in the future. But regardless of that, right? Jeopard, still a really good shielder. Fushuan is better than him. However, Fushuan doesn't actually put up shields. So if we need shields for whatever content, or you're doing a preservation run where you need shields, Jeopard is still the best shielder, but he's not the best preservation unit. So I still think he has a lot of value. And then Bronya is just the best support, right? Seeing leaks of the supporting characters, it looks like she'll probably still be the best for a while. There are characters who are like on her tier, but you know, if you're on their tier, I'd still say they're tied for best. So she's still best, right? You know, she's just so good, right? But that leads, like, every character here is either a worse version of someone else or could be like super easily replaced. Like Himiko, there's better AoEs. Yanqing, there's better single target hunt users, or there's just, you know, use an AoE character. Bailu, there's already a 4-star healer, and Locha exists, right? Clara is just a worse blade. Welt technically doesn't have anyone replacing him, but he's also just not in a great spot. So it's like, by the time you get those 8 more multis, right, who knows? Like, we could have a unit that replaces Jeopard at that point. We could have a unit that Bronya gets replaced by, right? Because, you know, leaks are cool and all, but they could change the kits a little bit. We could get a 4-star that, like, the leakers didn't see, whatever it may be, right? So, it's not looking too great for this banner, or I guess this free 5-star as you will. It is still an extremely good deal, and I think that Genshin should have easily had this. But regardless of that, let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think this still has a lot of good value? Do you think it's not as good as it once was? Do you think that if you have Bronya, this is basically useless for you? Let me know in the comments. Personally, I'm only missing Clara and Bronya, and it's pretty clear who I'm going to pick once I reach it. Even if I already have her, I really want her at E1, so that's my pick. If you already have done this, though, let me know what you picked in the comments, and of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. There might be a pop-up at some point with that. I don't know if I added this video. If I didn't, you should subscribe. If I did, you should, already be subscribed. Come on now. But in that, thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all in the next one.